It's the Oz report for June 22nd, 2024. And we are going to start with Plex and Plex derivatives. Why? For that, I need to go straight into the game client because what we're seeing is essentially the worst situation you could imagine for skill farmers. And we talked about that a minute ago on the stream, and that is Plex is up significantly. So we have Plex up 3% since last week. For Plex, that is massive. That's the biggest item in the game with a daily trade volume of around 45 trillion. So you can imagine that is quite massive. And the reason for that is, among other things, a new Eden store sale on Omega time. That's always popular, right? We had 7-day free Omega around the expansion, and now we have in the New Eden store 1 month Omega for 400 Plex instead of 500, and that's 20% off. And the 3-month Omega package is also on sale. And so what that means is upward pressure on Plex, which was already under pressure because of the expansion, because of the Skinner tool, because of other things that other sales that have been happening over the last 2 or 3 months. And so right now we are at almost 5.26 million sale price on Plex, which is quite massive. Adding to that Plex, to that skill farming issue is large skill injector prices dropping. Large skill injector prices are as low as they have been in 4 months. So we're at below 900 million. We haven't seen that in a while. This is what that looks like. You can see we had a peak here in April, and ever since then it has been dropping, and it's approaching 52-week average pretty much. You have to excuse my voice. I have been sick all week and I'm just recovering. So every once in a while, I'm covering the mic to cough. All right. Skill extractors are actually the worst part for skill farmers right now because they are actually up 6%. And that is very, very massive. We have a lot of people extracting. Part of that, as Golden said on stream earlier, part of that is the 7-day free Omega that was hitting. That certainly allowed a lot of people to extract skill points. But also we've had an increase in skill farming surely over the last year, as it has been quite profitable. And, and we haven't had a sale in a while either. So the price of skill extractor is the highest it has been in a year. We're actually at 565 million sell price on skill extractors in Gina, and that is huge. I mean, we all celebrated when it came back to 500, when we were able to cash in on the margin, on the profit from the 2-for-1 sale, where it dropped down to 300 and 400. So very, very different market now, very expensive skill extractor market. And that means that right now it's not a fantastic time for skill farmers. The profit for skill farming, just taking the 12-month subscription right now, has actually turned negative for the first time in a very, very long time. So the market is changing. Equinox is doing part in it. Sales are doing another part in it. So very interesting. Essentially, stay tuned. All right. That is what's going on with Plex, etc. The other thing, all right, the other thing that is going on is that we have Isogen actually trending up, which is against where it should go. Let's go here in the trending up category. Isogen, you can see it's been falling all year because it's been a huge bottleneck. And so CCP has introduced various initiatives to drop the Isogen price over the last year. Now it's rising again, and part of that is because we have no more faction hulls in LP stores, and that means that all of the faction ships now have to be actually built, and they use up a lot of Isogen. Other ships use Isogen as well, but they certainly do because the market is so big and they're so popular the Gilas and Nestors and Asteros of this world. And so certainly a lot of people were trying to build a lot of these faction ships because the price was dropping rapidly. And so I think a lot of people were trying to get these out of the door before they got stuck with a lot of them that were worth a lot less. Because if we look at what's trending down, let's look at here. Gila prices, Astero prices, Nestor prices, all dropping quite significantly. The Gila is down 12%, the Astero is down 18%, the Orthoris is down 27%, the Nestor is down 12%, the Succubus is down 12%. A lot of the most popular pirate ships are just down significantly, which is great if you want to blow them up or if you want to buy them, which is not so great if you're building them and you're stuck with a lot of them in process, in work in process, or in your inventory. The reason for this is because last week we saw gas prices tumble. Yeah, gas prices were tumbling quite significantly because gases were removed from sub-capital faction ships. And the gases were replaced by an LP item in the pirate faction stores. And now, as a result, we're seeing much, much cheaper ships because the bottlenecked null gases are not needed anymore. So overall, fantastic. Cheaper ships. If you are a gas huffer, naturally you might be looking for other things to do. But that is overall, I think, a very small negative aspect of a very, very positive change in EVE Online, which is removing hulls from LP stores, which just makes the entire economy more logical, more involved, more relying on player manufacturing, which is exactly what EVE should be. And so the big story this week is all of these faction ships dropping in price quite significantly. Now, the other thing that is getting more expensive again is some of the moon materials. So moon materials before Equinox, we saw a lot of them dropping because a lot of people expected more moon materials to be entering the market via passive moon mining. That impact hasn't materialized yet. It will maybe in the long run. In the short run, what we're seeing is just a lot of production, and so we are seeing a lot of the moon materials actually increasing in price. Other than that, we are seeing abyssal materials just drop further. As crystalline isogen 10 at a 52-week low, 0 point condensate even worse, like way below 52-week average, and 0 point field manipulators basically just settling in around that 200 K mark. And what that means is that we're going to have very, very cheap Triglavian ships. So you look at the Ikatursa is approaching 350 million. The Leshak is at 550 million. The Nurgle, you can actually, it's approaching like 140 million. So this is, also great news if you are flying those ships like a lot of you are. So overall, across the board, I think a lot of people were asking for cheaper ships, and a lot of people are getting cheaper ships. If we look at cruisers overall, so all cruisers being traded in EVE Online, they're down almost 4% this week. And if you look at frigates, all frigates being flown in EVE Online, they're down almost 6%. Battle cruisers are down about 1%, but that's just going to take a while. So I think overall, massive changes still from Equinox. The gas crash from last week is showing its effects in ship prices. Skill farming is much less profitable than it used to be, but that's going to fix itself as soon as some of these sales end and the Plex price goes back to a bit more normal range. And skill extractors, if you have them right now, is the time to sell. If you go check out our Discord, there's a lot of people actually trying to buy skill extractors. So if you want to get rid of them right now to some of those skill farmers that are licking their fingers for them, then go visit our Discord and post it there on the marketplace. All right, before my voice leaves me completely, I'm going to just call it quits here. We're going to return to the regular stream, and I'm going to see you on the Oz Report next week.